Hello everyone, I wanted to welcome you back to these video clips called Bringing It Home. And today, or this afternoon, I'm actually sitting here with Rob Wells, and I wanted to have him talk a little bit about the organization that he works with and what they do, and a couple of other things that I wanted to share with you. So, Rob, why don't you tell everyone about what you do?
Well, what I do kind of stems from what happened to my family over 34 years ago. On August 1st of 1983, my youngest brother was murdered in Boulder, Colorado, 20-gauge shotgun, point blank to the back of the head. And after all this time, that murder has still not been resolved. I was with U.S. Coast Guard at the time it happened, and my mom got very active with a group called Parents of Murdered Children.
Okay.
And the Parents of Murdered Children was kind of a group where other family members got together, and it was almost like peer counseling for grieving, you know. But after a while, after a year, two goes by, and your case hasn't been resolved, that grieving turns to anger and rage. And about 13, 14 years ago, a group, 2001 I believe, Family of Homicide Victims and Missing Persons was founded. Howard Morton and about a dozen other folks backed him and supported him, and my mom was one of those. And my mom just passed away. Cancer took her, and she crossed over without knowing. She knew who murdered my brother, but without seeing any justice done in Sid's case. The case was never resolved. There's an active warrant out for the shooter named Thane Smika, but he's never been brought to justice. And I'm kind of picking up where Mom left off. I was asked to come on board as the Executive Director for the Family of Homicide Victims and Missing Persons at www.FOHVAMP.org. That's a tough one. But I'm trying to pick up where Mom left off, and we do advocacy for families of missing persons and unresolved homicides.
Okay. Now, I know the question gets asked quite a bit, and I know that I get asked this question is, and I truly believe, and I think you do too, that people, the general public is concerned about what's going on. They hear about these things that they want to help, and a lot of them just feel like, well, what can I do to help in something like this? I don't have a law enforcement background or those kind of things, and so what would you say, what would be your suggestion for how people could play an active role in helping with cases, you know, like Sid or all the missing person cases that are going on?
We have over 1,600 unresolved homicides and missing persons in the state of Colorado alone. And I've been talking to other organizations like ours from around the country, and the number of unsolved homicides nationwide is staggering. And we're presently trying to put together a national database, believe it or not, with all the fingerprint databases, the DNA databases, all these wonderful databases. They do not have one that covers or addresses unresolved homicides to date. The Department of Justice takes in the numbers of murders every year, but not how many of those murders go unresolved. So just in Colorado, 1,600 murderers living amongst us. That's a staggering number, and unfortunately, it's something society as a whole we don't like to talk about. We don't like to address it. We can see something on TV and you know, how sad for that family. But until you've been through somebody brutally murdering a family member and getting away with it and not having that case resolved, if people get fired up about that, the way they can help is to help us help other co-victims deal with their grief, advocate to police departments to make sure their cases are not forgotten. 27 years after my brother's murder, they got an arrest warrant for the shooter. Now, they haven't found him yet, but 27 years later, it took 27 years to get a DA in there that could bring this about. And my hat's off to Stan Garnett in Boulder, Colorado. He did a wonderful job, he and Ryan Brackley, and the folks at the Boulder Police Department, after all these years, getting it to where it needs to be. But, you know, we don't want to give up hope, and that's why I'm so excited that you're doing what you're doing. You know, we want to give hope to co-victims, to family members, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, that justice will be done in their cases. You know, we want to advocate for them, bridge communication between the co-victims and the DA's office, the co-victims and family members and the police department. We believe in resolution through communication. We just aren't seeing that today to the degree we should. You know.
Well, you hit the key phrase, and I'm glad that you said that. Is with me, and you know, this is my whole platform, is to keep hope alive, to let the families realize that, hey, that, you know, they haven't been forgotten about, and this is something that all of you can be involved in as well. If you see, you know, if you see something going on, a lot of this is on social media. You reply to a message, tell them that you know that you're concerned, that if there's anything you can do, look what's going on in your local communities. If there's a missing person, there's an unsolved murder case, something like that, where the family's just you know they're hurting. So if you can help us, you can help Rob and all these families to keep hope alive. And thank you for your time. Pass this around, and we'll see you on the next Take journey.
Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
All I want is everything I lost, no matter what the cost, 'cause of all